Hi guys, welcome back to Detailing and the Beast. So last week on Facebook was the Easy Car Care Graphene Wax Week, where every single post that they posted up was all about this graphene wax. They released 20 of these things at 6 PM on one night last week, and they all sold within 30 seconds apparently. So Darren put on another 60 and I managed to get one. Now this was not the cheapest thing in the world. It is supposedly a graphene wax, so we are expecting a price hike to come with that. But this was £35 for 50 mil. Yeah, very, very steep. Kind of akin, price-wise, to my Mitchell & King wax. That came in a nice presentation box, etc. That's a real showpiece. But this, it came in a bottle or a pot with no label, no instructions. We've had no instructions off Easy Car Care on how to use it in terms of cure times and durability claims and all this sort of stuff is completely lacking off the website. So that's a negative straight from the off. It's very pre-production, but we're paying a very premium production price. So, you know, a little bit of a letdown and a little bit sore about that, but hey ho. So anyway, what are we doing today? So we've got the graphene wax. Now, if you watch my channel, you are already aware of the video that I did on the Easy Car Care ceramic wax, and this got an absolute rave review. It was fantastic. I loved it. Really nice, deep, dark glow to the paintwork once you'd use this. Really easy to use, pleasantly scented as well. Has a nice cherry scent to it. Really nice, great wax. Hopefully this can compare, and we're told is going to be a hell of a lot better. One, by the price. You can pick this up on sale for around about 14 or 15 pounds for this little pot. This is over twice the price. So we're going to be comparing the two. I've got a number of tests. So the first one I'm going to do is a multiple wash test. So we're going to put it on, see how it goes. We're going to leave them both for 24 hours. I am going to do 2 coats. We're then going to do this multiple wash test where I'm going to wash the panel, which has got both of these products on, 20 times with a wash mitt. And just to keep it all nice and fair, we're going to be using the Easy Car Care Cherry Bomb shampoo. And we'll see what the degradation is like after 20 washes. After that, I have some tests in mind if it's still going. The first one is, well, they're all kind of like a chemical resistance test after this. One of the things that Easy say about graphene is that it's heat resistant and chemically resistant. So we'll see what happens. So I've got a Easy Car Care, again, keeping it in the family. I've got Easy Car Care citrus wash there. That's diluted to around about 20 to 1, so quite a weak solution. After that, if it's still going, I'm going to hit it with 20 rounds of that, by the way. After that, if it's still going, we're going to bust out the Power Max TFR, and I might even make that a little bit stronger. It's a little bit weak at the minute at around about 15 to 20 to 1. I might even make it so it's not wax safe, and let's just see what happens. Over the top tests, but hey ho. And then finally, if there's anything left, I might even bust open the Genichem TFR Snow Foam. That stuff, I guarantee it will shift it if needs be at a stronger solution. I don't think we'll get that far, but if we do, you'll be sure to see it. Let's crack on. So first up, application. I've covered this wax in my dedicated ceramic wax review video, but just for those of you who haven't seen that, really quick, really easy to apply this stuff. Buttery smooth, goes a really long way. It just seems to spread and spread. A real joy to apply this one. The graphene, on the other hand, it did seem easy enough to come out of the pot onto the applicator, but it did seem very sticky. The same applicator was used, the same type of applicator, but this just seemed a little bit more grabby and a little bit more difficult to spread over the surface. So removal after curing. The ceramic wax, very easy to use. I covered this again in my ceramic wax video, the dedicated review, but this stuff buffs off like a dream. It really is a great wax to use. Very little residue left over when you're finished. And a final buff with a different towel leaves a great finish. Really even, no hazing, no streaking, no missed product. The graphene wax, again, quite easy to buff, but again, as per application, a little bit sticky and a little bit more difficult to remove. And I did find myself having to go back over it to remove certain patches that hadn't come off the paintwork. Initial slickness then. So this, we used 3 applicators. The one nearest to me there was the Easy Ceramic, in the middle was Bare Paint, and on the closest one here is the Graphene. So the first one to slide, Bare Paint, rendering Bare Paint the slickest. Then the Easy Ceramic. And then we keep raising that bonnet, we keep raising it, keep raising it. We're getting close to 90 degrees here, keep raising it. And finally the graphene goes. Very sticky indeed. So we then did a 24-hour slickness test. So after 24 hours, we repeated the test. Sorry for the little bit of a naff camera angle there. But the results were the same. Slick on the Bare Paint first. Then the ceramic has just gone. We keep going. And finally the graphene. I was expecting the graphene to be more slicker after 24 hours, but that wasn't the case. Initial water behaviour next. Graphene on the left here, ceramic on the right, Bare Paint down the middle. Very little difference between them. If I had to pick, I'd say the graphene was slightly better. Sheeting, drying the panel with an open-ended hose. Ceramic, very, very good indeed. Really good at sheeting. Left no water droplets on the panel whatsoever. Quality wax. The graphene seemed to behave in exactly the same way. It was a little bit more difficult. You see a bit more down the bottom end where it does seem to leave patches on the bonnet. Tiny little bits, but overall I'd give that one to the ceramic wax as a win. The 20 wash test. So we use the Easy Car Care Cherry Bomb for this to keep the product set in the family. And we wash the bonnet 20 times over and over. So there's a wash, a rinse and a dry. Repeated 20 times. So after 20 washes, these are the results. Graphene, as you can see, really unaffected. The ceramic has taken a little bit of a hit there, but overall on the main, they pretty much act the same. Very resistant to mechanical wash. So now we move on to chemical washing. Using the Easy Citrus Wash, diluted around about 20 to 1. And we hit this. A decent application, worked in with a Detail Factory brush. Rinse it off, repeat 20 times. So the first 10 applications here. And these are the results after the first 10 rounds of that citrus wash. Both pretty much unaffected after 10 rounds of citrus. As you can see, really strong water behaviour, still repelling water really, really well. That's the Easy Ceramic. Coming over to the Graphene, again, I would give this to the Graphene at this point. I think the water behaviour is a lot stronger that side. So on we go. Another 10 hits. And this is the final result after another 10 rounds. So at the moment we're on 20 hits. There I can see that the Graphene is behaving a lot better than its Easy Ceramic counterpart. So next up, chemical resistance. This is PowerMax TFR diluted down to 6:1. This is not wax safe, I have to add. So at this point we were getting a little bit fed up with the testing and seeing how much we could degrade them. Again, worked in with a Detail Factory soft brush. Jet wash clean, repeat 3 times. And after 3 hits, you can see that they have now started to take a little bit of a hammering. Protection is obviously still there, but they have started to degrade. And finally, we're using the Genichem High Alkaline Snow Foam, the TFR Snow Foam, just to show what a 5-minute dwell application of this stuff will do to any remaining waxes and sealants that may be on your car. And as you can see here, both of these waxes have taken a severe hit now. Pretty much every last piece has gone. There are 2 little pieces, one on the Graphene and one on the ceramic that remain. But in the main, everything has been removed. Pretty impressive stuff, that snow foam, to be fair. And now my overall conclusion. So the first thing we didn't really cover in the video would be the scent of these things. This ceramic wax, a really nice but heavy cherry scented wax. Quite nice, really nice to smell. Not so much, it doesn't show through or smell through when you're working with it, but nice, pleasant nonetheless. This Graphene wax, very heavy in terms of a solventy smell. Smells very much like furniture polish or something along them lines. Not very pleasant at all, but again, doesn't really smell through when you're working with it. But just something I thought I'd call out. Both of these things were pretty much neck and neck throughout the tests. This ceramic wax was much easier on the application and on the buff. This Graphene wax was a little bit sticky to remove in particular. Kind of somewhere between this, if you've ever used this, and Fuso Coat from Soft 99. This sits somewhere in between the two, so not overly difficult, but certainly not as easy as this. In terms of slickness, I was quite surprised, to be honest with you, and a little bit disappointed. This was very sticky, not slick at all from them tests. And after 24 hours, I was hoping it was going to get better. It just didn't. There was very little slickness to this, and it is very, very, very sticky, as per that microfiber applicator that just wouldn't slide down the bonnet. On initial looks, both of these were probably about the same. And both did add something to the paintwork, even though it was poor lighting conditions and I had to get it in the garage. Both of these did actually add something, a nice gloss, a nice glow to the paintwork. So I was pleased with both of them at that point. After 24 hours, there was not really any increase from either of these. But water behaviour, so after 24 hours we were able to get the panel wet, and I would then give this a win on that, and its first win where it outperformed this on beading. This was slightly better on shitting, mind, but for beading and looks, this won the day. So in terms of durability, the Easy Car Care website is completely devoid of information on this stuff. I think I mentioned it on Monday. The website is very, very poor in terms of actual usable information. So we just had to do what we had to do. So I did 20 physical washes using a shampoo and mitt method with a dry, and I then hit it 20 times with a citrus wash, trying to simulate some sort of ongoing weekly maintenance. And 20 washes would give us around about 5 months if you were to do this weekly without any external factors such as road conditions and weather conditions, etc. But after 20 washes and 20 hits of a citrus pre-wash, it was still going, and you can't really complain at that, to be honest. However, this did the same. So it's nothing over and above this in terms of longevity. And that brings me on to my final point, which is price. Now, the ceramic wax. This you can pick up for as little as a tenner. I have seen this, but normally it's £15 for 50ml. Going up to the 200ml, I believe, is £50, 50. The graphene. 50 mils of this is going to set you back £35, and that I think is on sale from £40. 200 mils of this stuff is going to set you back 3 figures. It's going to be £100, and for me, that is very, very expensive, regardless of what's in it. Kind of akin to my Mitchell & King wax. That's a 1 of 4, so anybody into their waxes will know exactly what that sort of thing costs. And I haven't used it. I've used it twice, actually. It's a showpiece. It's something that I bought because I wanted to buy a showpiece. This I bought because I wanted to use it and I wanted to get something out of it. But £35 or £40, that is a lot of money for what you get, considering that this will pretty much match it stride for stride. And paying £35 for a pre-production pot of wax, as that was at the time, not impressed, to be bluntly honest with you. So I mentioned this earlier. EZ don't actually give any useful information on their website about this product. They've got a nice stickered version on their website as their showpiece, and then they've got some text underneath that. Nothing on durability claims, nothing on the wax's chemistry itself. They just mention that graphene as a substance is the world's first 2-dimensional substance, and it's 100 times stronger than steel, and all this bump that actually, to be honest, is marketing spiel, and you just don't need to know that. So my advice to EZ would be to get that webpage updated and actually give your consumers something to get their teeth stuck into, and not none of this marketing, I nearly swore then, none of this marketing rubbish that seems to be spouted around graphene products in particular. So, the big question, would I buy this again? And the answer is no, I wouldn't. The jump in terms of, and there is a little jump between this and this, is just not big enough to justify the difference in price. And that's the blatant truth of it. So for me, it's ceramic wax all the way. It's a real battler of a wax. It looks good, it offers good protection, it's easier to work with, and above all, it's cheaper. So I'm still of the belief that graphene is simply the next massive buzzword, following on from the ceramic one that went before it. And we'll no doubt now in the industry start to see a whole raft of products coming through with the word graphene bolted to the front of every sort of product that you can think of. So we'll go through graphene shampoos, no doubt, graphene waxes, graphene detail sprays, all of these sorts of things that are a million miles away from an actual graphene coating. But brands will start to use that buzzword to try and cash in on the next big thing. And you know, that's fair enough, isn't it, to be fair? I just wish they'd probably be a little bit more honest and a little bit more open about what we can expect from these things, instead of playing on that consumer expectation that graphene is the next big thing, it's going to coat my car forever, because that's what happened with the ceramic buzzword. But we'll have to see and wait and see if that is actually a correct prediction or not. I hope this video was informative to anybody looking to go out and buy this graphene wax. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a thumbs up and a share if you don't mind on other social platforms. If you're not already subscribed, please consider doing so. I do a hell of a lot of videos. Go and have a look through my back catalogue. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. And anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.